Ah, L'chaim, ja. Maar we brengen we wel L'chaim. Schkach.
Ja, Menschen. Sie kommen, Gast kommen von Eretz Yisrael und der Lemons Rammes, der etwas davon sagen.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, der etwas ist davon sagen.
Wow, Menschen.
Well, he was.
Whoa. They took this and it's out of the
No, he did. No, you misunderstood. The guy.
Oh, I understand.
He went to visit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, still. Yeah.
Never. So when business with big people.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't know. Thank you so much.
The three things Rebbe said, no scaffy on hot mikvah, cigarettes.
Okay, come. Today, Yahweh Hashem, Kamayim Layom, Nechasim Umaloret. Yahweh Hashem, Kamayim Layom, Nechasim Umaloret. Kamayim Layom, Kasim Umaloret. Yahweh Hashem. Havayim layam, nechasim umaloret. Yos Hashem, Havayim layam, nechasim umaloret. Jason, Havayim layam, nechasim umaloret. Yos Hashem, Havayim layam, nechasim umaloret. L'chaim. The moide dike simcha. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechakol midbori. L'chaim. Huh? I do the 1 year cycle, and it's now finishing year cycle 43 and starting 44. I do remember when the Rebbe spoke about the Rambam. Remember it very clearly, because I remember the next day, everyone was talking about it in 770. It was like, wow, how are we going to do such a thing? It's but I just remember very clearly next day everyone talking about it. So it's not every not oh thank you so much. Okay. So not every year, but this year I know I made an unbelievable effort never to miss any Rambam, and because it's not good to have Swiss cheese. The trick is never to go weiter until it was made up the old one. So Baruch Hashem, I was Matzliach this year. I think last year I was also Matzliach, but I think that was the trick. The trick is never to let yourself have old chayvus. To just go to midim kesidin. Okay, so some people are very good. They don't go to sleep until they. I can't say I'm on that darga, but I make sure I do it. That's it. It's done. So whatever, waits a few days, whatever the emphasis that some posted, we'll do it by yom. But the bottom line, it's done. It's done. So it's a very exciting thing. It's a very exciting thing. Every year I talk about the mile of learning Rambam. This year is no different. This year I met a Yid who learns a lot of Gemara, and he learns Rambam, whatever. He's either Talmud Chacham, he davens here sometimes. And he told me he had this year a thing in his mind that the mile of Dafka Rambam, he says a lot of people are learning Dafka Yomi, but if they're not getting the Oimeka Inyan, so they're not really learning Gemara. Schenke in Rambam, if you learn it b'shitchis, you didn't get the oimek inyan. But you understand, Shnayim Shamar b'fnim, Shnayim Shamar b'chutz, Maretz Negoim. It's 4 things. It's very. You learn Mishnayis. You just learn Mishnayis Negoim. It's with the best Pirish Kahati Pirish. You know what's going on. Learn the Rambam. The Rambam had a knack in clarifying things in an unbelievable way. It's unbelievable. There's a certain Taka, even if you don't understand the oimik, but there's an unbelievable that there's b'shitchis. At least you get it. Bottom line is that it's a big simcha. I remember a few years ago we had here Siyum HaRambam, and we brought Rabbi Avram Shur, and we had a nice oilam. If you remember, right, he sat right over here where you're sitting, and he said a beautiful word. That he said there's a lot of things the mile of learning Rambam. For Lubavitcher Chosid, the reason we're learning Rambam is that the Rebbe Gehasen learning Rambam. So, and we know that the Rebbe himself learned the Rambam. Horai, you saw, in the car that Rebbe used to take with him the Rambam. Yeah, that I didn't know. But this I did know, and you see the taket. You can see that the Rebbe used to take with him in the car the Rambam, and he didn't take the Lomdish Rambam. A lot of times you saw that the Rebbe took the Rambam. You know that Rambam La'am from the Rebbe took with him that simple Rambam. Which is just I know, no, but I think that Rebbe wanted he wanted the Shitta to learn it in a certain way. The Rebbe said that it's kedai to learn one halacha be'iyun, but he was like that was the thing. You're learning. You're not right now learning Reb Chaim Brisker Rambam. You're learning, Kol HaTorah Kula. So l'chaim, it's a big simcha, finishing cycle 43, going into cycle 44. Really, after 44 years, we got. The Rebbe first started this takon of learning Rambam on Pesach, and we now came a whole cycle. So the next, because the Rambam is not a full year. The cycle of learning Rambam is short. Yeah. So it's always going back. So now we went back. Yeah, we went back almost to the time the original takona was made 44 years ago. It's less. It's not 40. It's Achron Shal Pesach. Tavshem Mem Dalet.
43 seconds. 40 years, 43 seconds.
Yes, because it's less than a year. That's why. It's not good. So l'chaim, it's a big simcha. Okay. So there's a lot of things we want to do today. L'kavod the Siyum HaRambam. The first, as I say, let's the porverter. And that's the first thing we need to do. The Rambam says about the unbelievable state of the world that it's going to be, Mashiach is going to come. And for Shteitzach right now, we need it in the strongest possible way. We need it now in the strongest way. Well, what is there, what's the Shaila? We need Mashiach now. We need the Geula. We need the Geula Mitzvah Shleima. The Rambam says, "Al Yala Leiv Shemimois Mashiach Yevatel Davar Mimenogi Shalom Yesham Chidush B'Maisa Bereishis Elam K'Menogi Noyeg K'Menogi Hoylech Zeh Shenama B'Shai V'Gor Zeivim Keves V'Nomerim Gedi Yirbatz Moshel V'Chida V'Inyan Adovar She Yisrael Yoshim Levetach Mrisha OlamAmishulam B'Zev V'Nemer." When we learned that a lot of times that Rambam, you say, so wow, it's not going to be as spectacular. We thought it's going to be Mamish, the Lamb and the Lion. It's going to be the Goyim are going to live peaceful with the Yidden. I don't know. Right now it seems that if the Lamb live peacefully with the Lion, that's not a big chiddush. That the Goyim are going to be, that the Goyim are going to live b'shalom with the Yidden. Wow. You serious? You serious? That's what's going to happen? It'll be shalom b'shalva, and the Goyim will be happy to see that the Yidden are wealthy and b'chovid, and will be the kovid gadol for a goy to serve a Yid. Wow, are you serious? This is what's going to happen? Okay, so the Rambam says, yes, this is what's going to happen. So we're talking about Shalom in the Rambam. So two things. I'd like to tell a story, and I'd like to tell a shtickle Torah. So let's start with the story. As we know from the Ruzhina story, with the Ruzhina, start with the story. I grew up with the Talks and Tales. And that was something that the Rebbe worked a lot on in Ebbetson. And because that time, when the Rebbe was working, I'm talking about 1940 till 50, Hulu, back then there was pushing no reading material here. That's why if you see like Kahos has translations of all the books of Marcus Lehman, Marcus Lehman, but he was a gifted writer, and the Rebbe came to America in 1941. What the youth should read. So he was busy translating things that he thought were kosher enough. Then the Rebbe started Talks and Tales, and which was really Altaras HaKodesh. I remember there was a beautiful story about the Rambam. That from Germany they sent shluchim to check out. They heard about the Rambam. There were so many things, Lashon Haras about the Rambam, things that sounded odd. So they sent the shliach the mayor to go check out who's the Rambam. Okay, so in the Talks and Tales they sent to Cordoba. The problem is that the Rambam really left Cordoba pretty young. So, okay, but in the Talks and Tales, the story went that they sent to Cordoba. Cordoba would be not that bad. They would have to go, they would have to cross the Pyrenees and go all the way to the bottom of Spain. Yeah, 900 years ago. Oh, Ashkenaz. I'm telling you from a kid's book. So the mayor came to the house of the Rambam, and he knocks on the door. He's an oirach, and they bring him into the house. And the Rambam is eating lunch, and on the plate is what looks like a human hand. And the Rambam says, "Please sit down. Why don't you have lunch with me?" What's this guy? It's saying, writing the cannibalism. He's a cannibal. Come on, let's learn the shail of kosher. This is human flesh. He says, "I'm not hungry." Okay, you're not hungry. Maybe we could give you something to drink. So Petrus, go to the basement and bring a bottle of good wine for the oirach. He says, "No, I can't drink." Oh, Petrus, agoy. They didn't have Barkan Mavushal wine. They didn't have Baron Herzog Mavushal wine. Petrus, agoy. He says, no, I was traveling today. I can't eat. I can't drink. Okay. Tomorrow you'll join us first with the Petrus, the backyard, that little calf. Kill it tomorrow morning. Chop off the head. Cook it up. Machmadanen. I have a guest, and I'd love to celebrate with the oirach. The oirach is going to be our oirach. I can't believe it. Push it. But he's not going to say, how could it be? How could it be? How?
Pasha, he was eating Yad Chazaka.
He
was eating Yad Chazaka.
He was in the Yad Chazaka. And all night he can't sleep. He can't sleep all night. And in the morning, the Rambam sends his Meshorish to call him. He says, Shalom Aleichem, Meir. He says, I know exactly why you're here. You were sent. You're sent here, and I could assume you couldn't sleep all night. You're choshed that here there's cannibalism. I'm drinking yain nesach. I'm eating meat that's not geshechten. I wanted to show you something and teach you a lesson, because Lashon Hara has a very strong power to break up shalom. That the Klal Yisrael need to live b'shalom to see the mile of another yid and to have the achdus with another yid. And come sit here. To see the achdus of another yid. And then you hear things about someone else, and look how your own eyes could fool you. Kolchkin, what you hear, you saw yesterday a food. It's a popular vegetable. It's a fruit that looks like fingers, but it's not human flesh. It's a vegetable. It's a fruit. It's very healthy, and makbet to eat things that are healthy, and it's not a very healthy food. And this Meshoris that's working in the house is a Yid, which is a Yorav Shalom. And he said twice in Chazal, there's a name Petrus. There's a Reb Yosef ben Petrus in a Medrash, Psatei Sefta, and a Yerushalmi that has Episamoyed Cotton Yerushalmi that says Reb Yosef ben Petrus, which is a Talmud of Reb Yeshua ben Levi. So, and he's a Yid, and that's his name. and he's a Yiddish Shemayim Yid. So so there's no and the, oh, and the fact that I told him to chop off the head of the animal, this animal doesn't need shchita. It's a ben pekua. And I shechted the mother, and it's 100% nita b'shchita simay. And Lakovid, because you're a choshev oirach and you're tamat chochem. I saved the ben pekua for you, but it's b'chal not. It's if he'll shecht it, but it's b'chal not on shchita. And so he wanted to do it. He said to show him, because he wanted to show him. He wanted to teach him a lesson. He wanted to show him that you hear things. Sometimes you even see things, and you're not. That's not what it is. Yeah. So anyway, l'chaim. Huh? Yeah. Right. Or like the story with Abba Chilkia with the people that came, and a dozen odd things he did until he came home, and then he explained himself. So first thing, l'chaim. The idea of shalom is a very big thing by the Rambam, and starting the beginning of a sefer and starting the end of a sefer, the union of shalom is very big. How do we see shalom in the end of the sefer? Is all about Yom Mashiach. How do you see shalom in the beginning of the sefer? And the Akdama of the Rambam is all about the Messiah. How when the Yidden and one of the big things in the Akdama of the Rambam, which is so beautiful. Every year I mention this. Even if you're not gonna, it's always kedai to start learning Rambam this year. If you fall off the bandwagon tomorrow is the learning the Akdama the Rambam. The Rambam's Akdama, it's Mosuk Midvash. It's just like it's a digest of the whole Messiah of Yiddishkeit. How the nuts and bolts, according to the Rambam sheet, all the Rishonim are, but the Rambam is very important edition. There's his Hashkofa, Moshe Kibbutz Torah Messina, and how it's one of the things, the unbelievable. Every year I learn it. It's like the Rambam has a distinction that up to the Vina V'Rabashi, halacha was binding to every year. After that, now why binding? If the Bezdin said something, that halacha is binding to every year. After that, it changed. Why? There's a. I'm just not the Pilpul Shabazah, but just because over there was Sholem and the Yidden were all together. They weren't so spread out. And when Bezdin said something, it was accepted by everyone, by all the Yidden and all Chachmei Yisrael. Memela became a chelik of Torah Shabbat Peh. Huh? Any Bezdin was the Bezdin, or if you bought it in him. But so we see the union of Achdus in the beginning of the Rambam and the Achdus at the end of the Rambam. So since the Rambam starts the Sefer with Achdus and finishes with Achdus, and tonight is Tuesday night, usually we learn a shtickle Gemara. So I'm giving you a copy, everyone, a shtickle sicha that I already once did it Baal Peh, but we'll look inside Oisis Machkimois, and we'll learn a little bit of it, and I want to discuss it a little bit. Yeah. I made only 10 copies. I didn't expect it'll be such a nice oil in Baruch Hashem. Okay. That's around though. Yeah. Moshe. And the end of one of the Sfarim, the Rambam writes, and it's not in the copy that you have, the Rambam writes about when there's a Gemara that we learned recently, that when there's a conflict, the person doesn't have enough money, and there's a Shaila, Shabai, Ner Beisa, and Ner Chanukah. We say that Ner Beisa is Koidem, Rambam says Mishum Sholem Beisa, Sharei Hashem Nimchek Lasa Sholem Enishli Ishtoi, God La Sholem Shekola Torah Kula Nitna Lasa Sholem Oelam Shalem Darched Arkanam V'Chol Nisav Sholem. The whole Torah was given to give Sholem. The Rebbe's kasha is we don't find such a Gemara. Why did the Rambam? The Gemara says that when you have a conflict between Ner Shabbos and Ner Chanukah, we say Ner Chanukah is Odif. And the Gemara says why? The Gemara says, I'm sorry, Ner Beisei Odif. The Gemara says Mishum Sholem Beisei. 2 words, Mishum Sholem Beisei. And the Rambam adds another 3 lines, the whole thing. Shar Hashem Nimchik Las God La Sholem Shkola Torah Nitna Las Sholem Ba'olam. It's like a universal message, or something that Rambam picked up. very nice, but steht nicht in the Gemara. And what was it Namo? The Rebbe says that L'chayr is Akash and Rambam. We spoke about it once, but we didn't speak about this a footnote that I want to learn inside, which is I think very mechudishdik and very gishmak as to what we're learning now. So the Rebbe asked another question. That in the Shulchan Aruch we find that this halach is brought twice, once in Hilchas Shabbos and once in Hilchas Chanukah. The Rambam doesn't say this halach in Hilchas Shabbos. He only says it in Hilchas Chanukah. If you only should say the halacha once, so you should say it in the earlier time, Hilchas Shabbos. But for not, the takazoi, who wins between Ner Shabbos and Ner Shabbos? So Adarabah, bring it earlier, so you don't have to say it later. And takazoi, it's Ner Shabbos is Odim. So why did the Rambam wait for later? So here's a copy in the Sikha. Say it earlier. So bottom line. Say it earlier. Let's read it inside. Siv Dalet. V'yesh loima abir bazeh. V'nageh the v'geder from the Shabbos zog the Rambam in Hilchas Shabbos. Ados is b'chlal oinik Shabbos. L'kovit Shabbos. Page 374, second column. Zog the Rambam in Hilchas Shabbos. Ados is b'chlal oinik Shabbos and l'kovit Shabbos. A schreibt aber nicht in Hilchas Shabbos. Ados is to leave Shalom Bayis. Shaloi. The koshel be'etza be'ever, or the defar was b'neise mitztarim leisha b'choshech. In the Shulchan Aruch brings from Rashi and Tosfos many Rishonim who say, what does it mean shalom be'etza? Shaloi koshel be'etza be'ever, or mitztarim leisha b'choshech, or that there's another girs in Rashi that that it's a pleasure to eat when there's light. The Rambam doesn't bring any of that. L'chayr does tamu b'yosef. V'balda the Rambam halt b'ilchas Chanukah Shabbos shalom be'etza. But the L'chayr l'rosh gedarf zogen alasar in Hilchas Shabbos. Why didn't he tell us this din Hilchas Shabbos? The phone movement, as Leuten in Rambam is that etzem achiyuv von der Shabbos nicht zu lieb shalom bayis. The real reason why you light a Shabbos candle has nothing to do with shalom bayis, nor to lieb kovid v'oinig. It's only because of kovid v'oinig. We'll get back to the footnote in a second. Turn the page. Nafapi as Ner Shabbos wird aufgetan befeuert in from Shalom Bayis, but nicht das is the geder v'tama mitzvah. True, there is Shalom Bayis. It's a side benefit that you don't slip, you don't fall, you don't bang your head. It's a pleasure. Yeah. He's gonna fall and he's gonna say, who left? I slipped on something. Who left the box over here? Who left it? Yenti, you left it? She says, no, Yankala left it. You start screaming on Yenti and Yankala, and now there's the opposite of Shalom Bayis going on in the house. Yeah. Now for P.S. durch Ner Shabbos wird aufgetan bepeuert, der Inge für Shalom Bayis. Aber nicht das ist der Tam, der Geder am Mitzvah. Fiese wird aber schwer, der Dien, Ner Beise, oder Mishum Shalom Beise. Shalom Bayis is doch nicht the Geder Achiyuv HaMitzvah. According to the Rambam, as we see soon in the footnote, the Rambam doesn't think that the reason we light a Shabbos candle is for Shalom Bayis. He doesn't think, we'll see soon in the footnote, he thinks it's to do with Kovid, Oinig, the whole thing. It has nothing to do with Shalom Bayis. So why is Ner Shabbos more important? Why is it odd? Warum does the Rambam einstellen der Dien nicht in Hilchas Shabbos, nor in Hilchas Chanukah? Is Moisef die Reihe Sharei Shem Nimchak der Mitte is a Machadash as Dosus Ner Basic Koidem Shum Shalom Beise is erst nicht a Geder in Ner Shabbos as in dem besteht der Diffus Ner Shabbos. It says the Midoichen Chanukah. It's not a din in Ner Shabbos. But I'm gesagt for the Shalom Beise nicht a Geder am Achio von Mitzvahs Ner Shabbos. It's not because it's so special because of Shalom Bayis. The whole reason of why we light a candle has nothing to do with Shalom Bayis. Not the reason why we light a candle on Shabbos. Nor, Metzad, Goydel Malas HaShalom Bechlal. Und das, was am Mitzvah wird abgestupt, zu lieb Dingen HaShalom, it is nicht der Geder von der Chiyas HaMitzvah. When you're pushing away a mitzvah because of Shalom, you're not pushing away a mitzvah. Now, Mizmekayim, ein Mitzvah zu, was wird bepoil abgelegt zu lieb Shalom. Ubinyanene, das was Ner Beise koidem Mishum Shalom Beise is eich mitzad the Geder v'toichem full Chanukah. Not that Shabbos trumps Chanukah. No.
Das ist ein Teil von Kol HaTeure Kula Schnitten Lasse Scholem. Bei High Time hat der Rambam gestellt, der in Hilchas Chanukah. The Sheol sein, and this is the Chiyah von Chanukah. We're not pushing away Chanukah and saying Shabbos candle is more important than Chanukah candle. No. No, that's is Oich Mechayev, the Inyan for Chanukah. Chanukah is screaming and yelling, please light the Shabbos candle instead of me. Then bringt er Araya von dem, was Hashem nimche, klasse, Shalom and Ishli Ishti. Shalom is not nor Azoy Grois, as them is Medoiche, the Harvey Ism from Mechikas Hashem. Na mishreit lechatchila the Shem, kedei zum Moichik seinem. The Chatchila, we write Hashem's name with the purpose to erase it in order to make Shalom Bayis, but they last Shalom, Benish Lishte, Mitzvah Ksivas, Hashem B'Kedushas Evetokpo, is Poyel, and it's Gala, do them, as Evet Nimchik, the Baal does bring Shalom Benish Lishte, a piece of Yumtik. The Rambam is Medaik to schreiben near basic Koidem, not like the Gemara that says Odif. Odif means Adifus, who's stronger than who? Ner Shabbos is Odif. Rambam says, no. When the Gemara says Yiriyah Dov, it doesn't mean what you think. It means he trumps the other one. He's stronger than the other one. Koidem. Why? It's a dana din in Hilchas Shabbos. Shabbos is stronger than Chanukah. The whole Torah was not Lasa Shalom Ba'olam. So Chanukah itself wants that you should be Shalom Bayis in a Jewish house. So it's not that Shabbos is stronger than Chanukah. Let's look at this. That's why the Rambam writes Chanukah not on Shabbos. Hashem in the Shur Torah Shulchan Aruch and the Alter Rebbe in the Shulchan. Write it in both places. Right. The Odif means this is stronger. From the Poshta Pshat, Odif. What means Odif?
Yeah.
Odif means it's stronger.
But like, it's not the biggest side. The first important. All Kaidim sounds like it can be like two different.
No, but over here you see by the context. It's a word Kaidim, but at least when he changed it from Odif, he softened it from the Gemara sounding like it's a din Hilchas Shabbos. Look at order 23, order 22. Odif means better, stronger. Mashenkin ladas at moide zaken. Shekoysev madgish befedish bereis Hilchas ner Shabbos. Tik no chachamim mishum shalom bayis shaloi koshel. Alter Rebbe holds, and that's pashtus that Chaber and the Tur hold that way, that the reason why chachamim made a takana to light a Shabbos candle is for shalom bayis shaloi koshel. Order 23. Eine shenyonim gufa kovev v'oinig. Mashenkel ladas at moide zaken. And urak goylim l'shleim asaynik da'achil v'shtiyah. Rat ba'oinik da suda. Kedas ha'tois v'z diber maschel adloke. V'yesh loimer d'lachein lo yeviyah d'alter Rebbe b'reish tumen b'eish from beis b'din oinik Shabbos. Look in the footnote in the bottom. Mashenkem b'Rambam shamareish b'erikeh shekosav afila ein lo ma yoichel u ba'aloche yud choy v'alov leishev Lo'oira neir, veloikosev leishe velisoi. Say from here a big chiddush that I think that I was saying. The Gemara says that the candle, the Shabbos candle is so important. It's so important. It's so important that. If you have light from somewhere else, it's another discussion. That's what we're talking about. Now we're talking about. But the Gemara says that the light is so important. It's unbelievable that so the tomorrow we're going to learn the Shulchan Aruch. However, that if you don't have what to eat, eating is more important. But they never bring that you have to have what to eat. Or a candle, you have to eat the food first, even though the Gemara doesn't say it. Alter Rebbe says it, and he's machir that from the Gemara. But the Rambam doesn't hold that way. Why? Because the Alter Rebbe holds that the light is in order for you to enjoy your meal. You don't have nothing to eat, what are you going to have a light for? The Rambam says, he doesn't say, he never said Leishav Elisa Loy the Rambam, it's Kovet Shabbos to light candles, just like Be'urim kabdu Hashem. It's a kovet for Shabbos to light candles. I think this is a very yesodistic difference. According to the Rambam, you probably don't need to have a candle in every room. If it's shaloi koshel ba'etz, they have in every room. According to the Rambam, it's a kovet Shabbos. Why do you need it in every room? According to the Alter Rebbe and Shulchan Aruch, if a person made a bracha, didn't eat or walked straight out of his house, so he made a bracha l'vatolano. According to the Rambam, no. If you sat a few minutes, even if you didn't eat, you were yoitza. Big chiddush that I want to say from here is that now we have a mocker to what we were talking about in the Zohar HaKodesh. We said that it seems that the Zohar is at odds with what the Poskim hold about Shabbos candle. It seems that the Poskim hold that the Shabbos candle dafka should be on the table where you eat. Why? Because it enhances the meal. It enhances the meal. So we spoke about it the other day, that even though the Rebbe said, the Ksav Sofer said, all the Gdoli said, such a dafka on the table. In the Arizal in the song, he said, Asader ledroima menar to the stima v'shulchem ninama v'tzpain that it's supposed to be in different parts of the room. I had then pshat, whatever. I want to say today a new pshat. It's a befedish Rambam. The Rambam holds has nothing to do with your meal. There's nothing to do with. It's not mishum shal. The Shabbos candle is not for you to. So you shouldn't fall. You should enhance your meal. No, it's kovid. It's mamish kovid Hashem. It's an andazach. It's kovid shemayim. It's and it's a mitzvah. It's a choiva leishav lo yiraneh, but not least lo yiraneh. So therefore, according to the Rambam, the Zohar might as well say the Zohar learned like the Rambam. So therefore, why does it have to be on the same table? Forget it. It should be done like in the base of Mikdash. That the menorah is bedon and the shulchan is betzofen. So we found that the Zohar and the song of the Arizal dafke fits very well with the shita of the Rambam. We're doing the way the Shulchan Aruch tells us to do. But Lapoil, I'm just saying that you see clearly the way the Rebbe is learning in the Rambam's Medayik in the Rambam, that the Rambam doesn't hold that it's Shalom Beisoy, and therefore you shouldn't slip or you should enjoy your meal. It's Lakovit Shabbos. If it's to enjoy your meal, I understand why it should be on the table. So it's Nikr that's Lakovit the meal. But if it's Lakovit Shabbos, that goes very well with the Zohar and the song of the Arizal. That's Shulchan is Betzofen. Anyway, just I only saying it tonight because we're doing a Siyum HaRambam, so that will count for the Chiddush for tonight. But the beautiful thing in the Rambam is that the way the Rambam emphasizes the union of Sholem. The Sholem is the Rambam is Messiah, that Sefer, just Zmanim, and that goes very well with the theme of the entire Rambam. The godless of Shalom. The godless of Shalom. When we're still in the middle of Rambam and Hilchos Manim, it's Shalom between a Yid and another Yid. But by the time we get to the end of the Rambam, when the Shalom between one Yid and another Yid, by the time we get to the seam of the whole Rambam, there's even the Goyim Shalom with the Yidden. They're happy. An unbelievable thing. Because if Mashiach came 4 or 5 months ago, you wouldn't accentuate this Gewalt. I'd say the Goyim are so nice, the American Goyim. Mr. Biden is the best friend of the Jewish people. And he has our back. So and so what is the Rambam saying? The Rambam is saying there's going to be something spectacular. Just like a lamb and a lion can live together, the nations in the world are going to be happy for the Jews and they'll live with them in peace. Yeah, he's quoting from Yeshaya the prophet. But if we read this in Rambam 6 months ago, maybe someone would say that. But now that the Eibishter made that, we should see that we don't have anyone that has our back. And amidst Hashem, Mashiach is going to come. The Goyim are going to be terribly embarrassed because they said that they had our back and they were best friends, and they showed their true colors 2 minutes before Mashiach comes. The Gemara says now by the Zohar that the Goyim are going to complain. They say, "You're giving Mashiach to the Jewish people, us." The Eibush is going to have what to answer them. But there's definitely, we know now that they're not even going to have a stark kindness because they all showed their true colors 2 minutes before Mashiach is coming. It'll be a covet for them to.
you see that that's why you are my I just like that's English.
No. We'll learn tomorrow about which one you do first. Bakaponim, the Rambam, the Shulchan Aruch holds that you have to have food first. You can't not have food. You have to have food first. No, the Rambam can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's fine. Because Kiddush is off.
no, because because you don't have to eat by the light. First, Shulchan Aruch is you have to eat by the light, so you have to have food in order to eat by the light. Okay. It's going there. Okay, so Abai says, "Man lo yesham lo yirov lo machama lo kinu betachlis shatoy b'tei mushpas harbe machol madanim tzem offer that the madanim will be mamish like a offer means that the pleasures of the world will be so abundant, be like picking up sand. The remes over here is also that the Rambam is saying that just like it's not such fun to eat sand, so it's like Purim. At the end of Purim, it's sugar. At the beginning of Purim, sugar is sweet, and then the sugar is sugar, and at the end, it's hot and tamnish. Right? It's mamish after you eat so many candies, it has no time. So Bisman Mashiach, Yidden will have a geschmack in the lakus, and the madanim to them will be like offer. When the Pashup shot is that there'll be so much madanim that they'll be able to spend the time learning, not chasing after the madanim. But the remes here is that because the madanim will be mitzvim koffer, so what's pleasure? What, a piece of sushi? What, a cookie? A pleasure of learning a shagasaya, learning a maimer, with the Torah, with the sichas. That's going to be a pleasure because the madanim is only like dust. So therefore, lo yeisa kol olam elo das Hashem balvad v'fichim yisrael yu chacham gedolim. Yodim dvarim astumim amukim yesigu das boinim v'koy echadim shenem k'mola asdei Hashem kamayim lamachas dichach one of the sign nigma sefer bosim as shaket. I want to be machabed Rabbi Greenwald. So should start the Rambam. You have the Askolos Rambam there. I'll bring you down. I'll bring you.
That's what it's about. It's like professor in school. This is a professor. Someone is like it's giving everything what I've done. The Bible and the focus going to be what it's talking about. And how we need to assess to first leadership, all leadership is not local. Base flag of the consumption. Gimel David the evil menu, Vogel kind of small. Zay Shimon Sengel small, Tek Shimon Adek Boyd speaking small, Tek you Shimon and double small, the youth will policy. Youth give up, you don't start with yesterday, say this, no problem. It's translatable from youth give up. Sorry, it's another one. Later, she has shared material. There's a name of who Mamsi Coloncy. Coloncy means one goal to make it's the first time from the Rambam. So, given the book, everybody we start to learn Rambam. Both are on Zach, starting now this time, then get 44. It's the 44 times that do the Rambam. Wow. And the point is that every day, no matter what happens, most of the Rambam. Then you go to sleep, then you get the Rambam, then you go to sleep. Last night at 1 a.m. I was in the plane, and it was before taking work, and I sit down the last look in the hand. I felt like the guy just followed the police, and wow, I said I love that. Moving forward, I Friday morning to ended, and Monday on that.
Kibud Avayim.
There is a show that the Rambam used to daven in there's the place.
Cairo?
Cairo. So medicine back in the store. They don't really like Jews to full security and watch this place. They read the last
Yeah, that's
and also the Chilean fast that went to the Rambam cave today. I did the Siyum and Siyum
Where's he buried? Not only the Rambam, they have other tzaddikim there.
right.
And his father also buried him. What is that? Yeah.
Time.
No, Avashta is there. Seven.
And they want to look at human being. The fact is, I have to do one thing. No, Alicia,
Actually,
yeah. I don't. It's okay. But I'm not doing nothing. I think who's having my life? Well, so far. But I don't even know
Utsu Eitzabe so far. and if you people this rule that is Rambam to start and so the Rambam was a receipt. He said, "I'm going to say, not as somebody walking the whole the book, not to study it." The Rambam said, "The Rambam to hit us. There is a lot of things on this. When you look at the ocean, the Pashas, what it sees, it's water. Yeah. But everybody understands that in the ocean, you have Bayabas. You don't see it. So if you go the whole album, when you get to the end, to the album, the last piece, you see that if you're in the album, it's what you see like outside. Just start going deep and deep, and you see the view of the album. Like, as a member of the album saying, that's what the album rises along before this one stuff, this the whole night all sounds right now, and then like everything but the album was size without the size. So the solution of the album should like
Imagine what kind of right now upstairs by the Siyum HaRambam going on. It's not right. Because all the ability and all the Tanakh are moving sitting out the Rambam so far that it will be sitting. It's the only one that only doctor that writes the book and says that the Bible will come to this when we help it. It's not a doctor who says it's guaranteed. So I know that.
There was only one rule that you have to score a penalty before you follow his line. He claimed not to be able to. Yeah.
Remember, something.
What if it's 15 minutes? Or not as small. Somebody had money Shabbos Kingdom because the next time always buy food for Shabbos. You don't know what Shabbos was food there. And I'm sure this one is bring light to the world, bring forth the feast of Shabbos. When we do bring us to the last one is this time, so long. Once the Shabbos is lost. How long took the Rambam? You want to know?
No.
Was because even the other one was because he's afraid of what the and now
By the Egyptians.
Yeah.
No, it's not problem. Mashka doesn't get problem.
And the children that's about
Rambam used to sign the first ring. Over Kolgan Gimel Lavin. Gimel Lavin. Look in the book of Forsham. He lived in Egypt.
Yeah, but that's fine now.
I know. Yeah, for sure. Did you saw Rebbe Vatzala?
No.
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't say Rebbe Vatzala?
No, functional parts. Functional parts.